Welcome to my review of Apple's Magic Keyboard. The keyboard I'm reviewing is for the 11-inch iPad Pro M1. The keyboard is covered in a durable rubber which is pleasing to the eye and to the touch, and has Apple's logo at the back. The rubber is prone to scuffing, so you do need to be mindful when you're packing it away when you're on the go. The keys are made from plastic and the font on them is very clear, and I'll talk further about the keyboard shortly. In terms of weight, the keyboard weighs 601 grams, which is actually heavier than the 11-inch iPad Pro itself, which weighs in at 466 grams. As a standalone object without an iPad, the keyboard is pretty useless. Well, maybe it can be an expensive paperweight, but all of that changes when you line up the iPad's camera with the cutaway and dock the iPad. All of a sudden, the keyboard is alive and has purpose. The symbiotic relationship begins. First off, let's see how secure this new relationship is. The Magic Keyboard and iPad are held together with strong magnets. Just how good are those magnets? I think it's safe to say that the binding between the two in normal day-to-day usage is more than adequate. And how about balance? Can we use the Magic Keyboard and iPad on the lap like you would do with a laptop? As you can see, the iPad and Magic Keyboard are precariously sat on my lap. The weight of the keyboard is unable to counter the top-heavy iPad. You can use your palms to add additional weight, but I would proceed with caution because an iPad crashing to the ground could be very costly. Back to using it on a table. The viewing angle on the iPad can be changed to suit. Its cantilever system allows you to tilt the iPad to get the best viewing angle. And moving on to the all-important keyboard. The keys are mostly full-sized, like on a laptop. The touchpad is smaller than what you'd get on a laptop, but it's more than ample enough to move the cursor around and perform 2 or 3 finger gestures. The palm rest is also on the small side, but considering the dimensions Apple had to work with, they've done a good job in maximising the space available. One thing they've left out though was the top row of function keys. You know, the keys which give you the shortcut to the sound and the brightness. That would have been nice to have, but for me it's not the end of the world because the iPad screen is within touching distance. And these buttons are available if you choose the Magic Keyboard Pro. We all know iPads are great for touch, but what is the Magic Keyboard like for typing? I initially looked at it with a little doubt. The profile is very slim and the keyboard lays flat, unlike the keyboard on the Microsoft Surface that gives you the option to use it flat or at an angle. Well, after typing for a short period, my doubts evaporated. This keyboard is surprisingly good for typing. The keys are very responsive and they have good travel. When you press a button, it really feels like you're pressing a button. And it's pretty quiet too. All in all, it's a really nice experience. And typing in low light is made easy with the backlit keyboard, which you can adjust in the settings of the iPad. Other observations include when using the touchpad you see a round circle selector instead of an arrow which you typically have on a MacBook or Windows computer. When you hover over an icon with the pointer disappears and the icon does a little jig when you move the pointer again. You click on the app and it opens as expected. If you want to get back to your home screen from any app, you can slide the pointer down to the very bottom of the screen and tap once. I found this very helpful to get out of Windows where there is no obvious way to close the window like in Settings. And you can get around with all of the most commonly used gestures on the touchpad, such as pinch to zoom and swiping up and down with 2 fingers and swiping between apps with 3 fingers. Staying with the touchpad, when I press to select an item, it does make a bit of an annoying click sound, but this is easily remedied in Settings and selecting Tap to Select. Now all you need to do is tap. No more annoying clicks. Plus, an added bonus is if you find that the battery is low on your iPad, you can connect a USB power source to the left-hand side of the Magic Keyboard and it will charge your iPad, leaving your iPad's USB-C port free for dongles. The USB-C port on the keyboard only delivers power to your iPad, so you can't use it for data transfer. So all in all, the Magic Keyboard is a great companion to the iPad. It doesn't have the function keys along the top row, it is on the heavy side, and it takes a while to get used to the weight distribution. However, it doesn't take away from its great form and the way it absolutely supercharges the interaction with the iPad. Fiddly things like typing in web addresses and long passwords with the on-screen keyboard become yesterday's problems. Can the iPad and Magic Keyboard replace a MacBook? Well, first off, they're on different operating systems, iPad OS and Mac OS, and that's a different question for a different video. But I will say the Magic Keyboard is an excellent keyboard for the productivity-minded iPad owner who wants to get the most out of their iPad and do it in style. Thanks for watching this review. If you'd like to see more reviews, subscribe, and why not check out one of these videos here.